Right now, though, I'm joined by Tom Gross, international affairs commentator, human rights campaigner, Middle East expert, who I believe is currently in Israel. Morning, Tom.
Good morning, Matthew.
You're in Israel at the moment?
I am, yes.
Can you give us, I know it's not necessarily the ideal time, but a little flavour of how ordinary people are responding to the news, please?
Well, let's start with the government. It's the Jewish Sabbath from Friday evening to Saturday evening. And because there are a lot of religious Jews, the government usually doesn't work or issue statements. And the government has made a very unusual step. It issued a statement earlier this morning, Saturday. Essentially, it seems that Israel has welcomed this move by Hamas, that the IDF has moved about 5 hours ago, so that would be at about 2 a.m. British time, from offensive to defensive military positions in Gaza. They have stopped the bombing now, and they are preparing to receive hostages. So it seems like they do expect this first stage of the Trump peace plan to be implemented. These hostages, some of them have been underground for 2 years, haven't seen the light of day. Some of them were injured on October 7th, 2023. So they're in very bad condition. So they have cleared out some hospital wards to make room for them, to give them privacy with families and special treatment and so on. So it definitely looks like something's going to happen. I don't believe that Donald Trump would have said something quite so, it's almost like a premature victory parade in that statement, the video statement he put out, without being assured. And the reason I think Trump is assured is not because of Hamas, but the one party that has ever really been able to put pressure on Hamas is the government of Qatar, which funds them, where their political leadership is based and so on. So I think, Trump has quite close relations with Qatar. If you'll recall, the Qataris have offered Donald Trump a $400 million luxury palace jet that's nicer than one that Trump can keep after he has left the presidency, because it will be donated to the Trump Presidential Library. So I think this is going to go ahead, yes, this hostage release. The
hostage release, I'd like to think, is a given. There do appear to me quite substantial stumbling blocks still to get across.
Yes, you're right. Okay, so the Trump plan had two other main elements. One was that Hamas would disarm, and that they would no longer be involved in the government of Gaza. So in other words, it was an offer for them to go into exile and to be guaranteed amnesty so Israel wouldn't go after them, or they could stay in Gaza, but they could become a normal political party. And, other terror groups in the past have later become political parties. I'm not comparing the ANC in South Africa, because Hamas have behaved in a far worse way than the ANC ever behaved. But Nelson Mandela's African National Congress was involved in armed struggle, or some would say terrorism, and they became a political party. And also Hezbollah in Lebanon has also been offered that. Disarm and become part of the regular Lebanese politics. So Hamas could disarm and become part of regular Palestinian politics, but they have not accepted this part of the Trump plan, which makes me a bit pessimistic as to whether this is really complete the end of the war. And if I just might add one more thing, Gaza clearly needs massive rebuilding, massive international aid. And I don't think that countries like the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, or indeed Western countries want to start investing billions when you still got a lot of Hamas gunmen roaming around. And I'm not sure that any peacekeeping force can do its job. And I understand that Indonesian troops may send 20,000 Indonesian troops, may be the backbone of a peace force in Gaza.
A fascinating conversation. Appreciate you joining us this morning and giving up your time, Tom. Much appreciated.